sitting in the background. Organization sitting in the background. Because what it does is that it demands whole lot of talent, whole lot of skill sets amongst organizations to be brought in to be able to handle all of that day-to-day operations that are required to be done. I just wanted to show you this chart because I wanted you to think through. It's something that always keeps cropping up in all our discussions with the CEOs and CIOs in the business environment. To this question again and again to ourselves also whether we are bringing in enough on the technology front. Help solve some of these problems, be it with regards to storing the data, be it with regards to protecting or securing this data, and eventually leveraging it for better business results. And I'm sure you can't read at the back. There are some press clippings, media clippings that I have put on the chart. Not all is done yet. Not done yet. This area yet. There are still a lot of things that need to be done. So what are the typical information management challenges that the customers, the CIO are seeing? First, the CIO are seeing the data. There is 60% year-on-year growth that is coming in. Number two, it is all about the fact that there is compliance-related demands that are coming in. These compliance-related demands are more from the government regulatory point of view. A lot of government regulations have come into place which demand the customers to retain data for a certain number of years, especially in the banking and finance industry vertical, where they need to retain it, telecom service providers need to retain the data for 7 years. So all of that needs to be stored and protected. Complexity of having adopted a information infrastructure, it is complexity of managing this infrastructure. And finally, protecting and recovering. What's happening right now in the market with regards to cost, building more efficiencies because the market generally is slowing down at a global level. Economies are under pressure. Very important aspect to be dealt with. The total cost of ownership, as we call it. This would require utilization levels to go. This would require better and superior implementation of the overall infrastructure from a virtualization point of view. And finally, the technologies that help you manage the infrastructure. One of the other things that I would like to bring it up on the chart is the shortage of skilled manpower in information infrastructure space. There's a real dire need for more and more talent to be brought in this area. So that's where it brings us into the picture through the EMC Academic Alliance. I'm sure some of you would have heard about this. I'm sure in the morning session we would have talked about the EAA program much more in detail. The objective is very clear from EMC's perspective. The objective is to bridge the skills gap that exists at a worldwide level. So have more and more professionals trained and certified on storage technologies who could then be a source for the customers and partners and even our competition friends from their requirement perspective. As I see it, currently at a worldwide level, educational institutes are not focusing on building skill sets in this area. Skill sets in this are not supported. The curriculum does not support it because of various reasons, and don't want to get into those details. So what does it leave the professionals with? The choice the professionals have is that if they want to get into this area, they need to either do a trial and error method, which is learn by trial and error, or look at people who are already in this area and learn from their experiences, or for that matter, look at vendors who could train them to be able to be more effective in this area. And when it comes to EMC, We are saying that, look, having recognized this as a skills gap, we might as well do something about it, and we have created this EMC Academic Alliance program, which we are encouraging universities to participate, join in, and be able to then include certain component of this courseware to be able to create that talent pool in the country. This courseware, as you know, is vendor independent. It is not something that is limited only to, and hence to that extent it's pretty much generic. India market, the information infrastructure space is expected to be about $1.1 billion in the next 3 years. So that's a huge potential that exists. While one hasn't really created in the customer area, in the partner area, or for that matter with the vendor, a huge play developing over a period of time. It's already at a level where it seems to be a big one, but I think the point to be noted is that a sizable chunk of the IT industry going forward. What you would see on the chart is that it's not limited only to storage. The storage hardware is in blue, and without getting into details of the numbers at the back, what you can figure out is that hardware is less than 50% of the total information infrastructure space. Balance is in content management, it's in backup and archival solutions, it is in security solutions, and it is in services. So all of that makes up information infrastructure, and that's about 1.1 billion by year 2011. Why am I making this point? I'm making this point because I want you to know that, look, if you choose to be in this space, if you choose to build your skills in this space, you will have a very bright future going forward. You will be literally hunted for the jobs, because it's an area where there isn't much that has been done so far. So this earlier EMC academic program, Alliance program, it has got value for both university as well as the students. It helps the university to align to a technology leader. I'm sure all of you know that EMC is number one in the information at a global level, and you'll be glad to know that in India we are number one. We are leaders in the information infrastructure space in India as well. And our market share today is something that is of a big envy to our competition, and we bring out technologies that are cutting edge. The university gets to work along with the technology leader. That's point number one. That's the value that we bring.